So in any case, as the growth of population and the income, as you know, transport demand increases, depending on.
Then we conclude with the recommendations and strategies for the terminal. Then we move towards the literature study. In literature study, first we terminal efficiency strategies. We talk first we pedestrian safety, pedestrian flow, and conflict elimination of for the terminal. In bus terminal management is equilibrium between demand and parking management, arrival and departure control, and bus scheduling, and all the then we talk about basic infrastructure requirement for the terminal for passengers and buses, and the bus staff areas for planning for the terminal, providing busways. And then we move towards area requirement for the passenger facilities in the terminal. Next we move to the angular ideal parking for the terminal, in which in 30°, that these are type of the ideal parking we can suggest for the terminal. And there is a 4 scenarios in which the areas are distributed for the terminal. First in site area distribution and open area distribution. In first scenario, we have shown the no terminal will applicable over the 590 rupees. It goes to 5,000 rupees for 60 minutes. It escalates per 5 minutes to 50. Then it goes to after 10 minutes it goes to 100, then 300, 500. It escalating by time. Then we have talked about time spent by boarding passengers on different functions. Means when in terminal passenger comes, it spend time in different facilities, like in the time of ticketing, parking, waiting area, and bus break, and then they board and they depart from the terminal. We talk about there are 3 categories: small terminal, medium terminal, and large terminal. This taking from our case literature study. If we talk about the small terminal, it handles 60 buses per hour. For what the area is required, if we talk, take the layover time for 10 minutes, then the Anand Vihar lies in large size terminal, Kashmiri Gate lies in medium size terminal, and Sarai Kale Khan lies in Sarai Kale Khan, and Kaushambi lies in small size terminal. Then if we exceed the layover time for 20 minutes, that is ideal in current situation, then the terminals are lies in medium and small size. For Kaushambi, we have studies all 3 our terminals, and we try to implement learning from over 3 terminals to Kaushambi, because its dwell time is higher than all the terminals, because we want to decrease layover time from 60 minutes to 20 minutes, so it will increase the efficiency of the terminal and enhance the capacity to 25 buses per day from 800 buses per day. And applying the above strategies will enhance passenger handling capacity to 50%. And the current bus schedule should be revised, because there is no schedule for the buses. Buses are taking time over there. Observed over at the time of case study, taking 2 hours layover at the terminal, 3 hours. So it should be revised, and the penalties to be collected at an exponential rate from 50 to 3,000 beyond 20-minute layover time, as we talked from our earlier studies. So I want to conclude finding strategies for enhancing the terminal efficiency. By applying the 20, we can now there is a 20-minute layover time for all the terminals which are managed by DTIDC. So we can also go to 15 minutes, because there is a bus I have seen that bus left the terminal within 15 minutes over there. So we can also reduce the layover time to increase more efficiency for the terminal. And the penalty is also we have seen, so we can also recommend for the Kaushambi bus terminal. That will increase the efficiency for all the terminals. Thank you, sir.
purpose and to conduct mod choice modeling of intracity circular bus nearby CBD areas. So the limitation is for me, Thiruvananthapuram is the capital city of Kerala. So that's the major administrative hub, academic and transportation hub. So the population is actually from 2011 census, that is on sensitivity analysis plus 10% and minus 10% variation I have done. So waiting time on travel time and fare where I did the sensitivity analysis. So on the first table we can see the intracity circular bus for private bus. So and the second table is for the KSRTC urban bus service for shifting off to the intracity circular bus. So on the both cases we can see from the plotted sensitivity curve, waiting time is more sensitive and the fare, it is that yellow line. Second sensitive factor is the travel time. So from both the graphs I have actually come up to this conclusion that people are more sensitive to time. The inference, I considering 10% of the reduction in the travel time by introducing the bus lane. So the average speed I am getting on the public transport in Trivandrum city is 16.2 km. Yes. So the average 0.8 km per hour increase bus speed it is getting. So it is kind of 32 minutes was the public transport average journey time or travel time of it is what getting. If it is the speed is increasing, 26 minutes was the calculated journey time, and that is of 23% increase in the 23% reduced journey time it was getting. So I have calculated the percentage of changes and the new demand and the existing demand based on the 10% decrease of the travel time. So these are the conclusion I had to say. So
I think I need to stop you.
Yes.
So we exceed time.
Maybe the sustainability part, so that I haven't considered on this.
Yeah, that's what it is. Inclusion, etc. That's what you say. Increasing the speed of circular bus or a dedicated bus. Broad based on your study. Practical implementation is because it is a mixed travel mode. And as far as I remember, Trivandrum, it is a very, very narrow. The dedicated bus lane will be for other buses also.
Maybe public transport.
Survey showed that is insensitive. For private comfort, they are choosing. If you see there,
Yes, sir. So this is the actually the values, the significant values that is like less than 10%, like 0.1% that is getting. So this is the normalized table I have from the output of analytical hierarchical process I was getting. So from this values I was considered which is significant parameter and which is negatively correlated. And later on I have done this the same thing on the Pearson correlation test also, and there also the similar parameters was getting asked.
What are primary subjects you have inserted?
So basically user survey is done.
What is the sample size? More than 20 you said.
Sample size was for intracity circular bus, that is 120, and urban bus service 83, and the private bus service 85, and other mode also I have considered, that is 23.
So you have done 311 user surveys.
User surveys, samples.
Appreciate the importance of micromobility modes and their integration with mass transit system in urban areas. And the second objective is to assess the existing profile usage pattern and key challenges in its adoption and develop strategies for the sustainable integration of microgrid modes to enhance its adoption in urban commuters, and then to provide actionable recommendations for improving micromobility and mass transit integration. So the first stage, the methodology, the first stage is the background study, problem identification, formulation of aim and objectives. Then comes the second stage, which is the literature study, review of the global best case studies and identifying the gaps and driving factors. Then, the heavy investment, it requires heavy investment, but there is no government support as of now. Then the lower supply of feed, it is difficult for them to cater the population size if there is the supply side is low. And then the bikes are always, the fleet size, existing fleet size remain unutilized due to its lower maintenance and all. Also the absence of docking station and awareness among the commuters, and also the absence of dedicated. I only considered the competing mode, which is the IPT mode for user preference survey. And then I have collected 120 samples in Gorka metro station, and then I did the binary logistic regression, and then I have calculated the willingness to shift from IPT to bicycle. Then the accuracy test is there, the 90% sample I did the modeling, and then I have used the 10% for accuracy testing, and then I have derived a utility equation, and the probability of shift has been calculated. Like these I have presented to the users. Like these are the assumptions I have taken from the survey that I did. Like what is the access distance, what is their waiting time, their trip cost, and then the first three scenarios, like there is no intervention, like only the cost is being changed. If the services remain the same, the accessibility remains the same, the drop-in density remains the same, there is no dedicated lane. Compared to the IPT, which is 20 rupees for this 2.5 kilometer distance, then what is their access time, the change in time and change in cost. This is all the scenarios have been presented to them, and it is asked that in which scenario you are willing to shift. Then it is not feasible to provide this much of docking density in a study area. If there is such facilities to accommodate that is uncertainty. So I have considered this, and this is the existing condition, and this is the optimistic condition, and based on that I have calculated the utility, like probability of choosing cycle over the IPT. Like for scenario 6, their probability of shift is approximately 50%, and for different operators they have to download different apps. So it is a hectic process for them to manage all these apps. So for that, what are the strategies that could be there?
Objective is comparing it with the benchmark setting or DPI, and fourth is to propose strategies for betterment of those KPIs. Coming to overview of metro in India, the oldest metro is Kolkata Metro, that was inaugurated in 1994. The longest metro network is of Delhi, that's 353, and total operational length in 22.8 km. In Kanpur it's 8.7. Agra Metro is nearby 6 km, and Noida Metro is around 29.7 km. Coming to Lucknow, so the urban congestion is also at its peak in Lucknow. We can see the journey speed is in peak hours is 7.5 km, and metro length is 23 km. Similarly for Noida has a linear city, and it passes through mix of various land uses. The bus share is 23%, private vehicles are 57%, and IPT share is 20%. Around 10 factors which are listed here: traveling comfort, crowd management, cleanliness, and all those factors, which were collected on rating scale of 5. Then I have converted those ratings to rankings for each and every city using AHP, analytical hierarchy process, and after that I have calculated overall satisfaction index for overall satisfaction for all the users in all those 4 cities. So in Kanpur and Agra, the passengers were highly satisfied, followed by Lucknow and Noida. It's because Agra and Kanpur metro is newly built, so there's very less crowd, and cleanliness is also high, and all those other.
Purple line is majorly going around the catchment, so no industrial area, and Swargate area is lying in the core of the city, where maximum percentage of mixed land use is there, and my aqua line is going around the residential corridor of residential zones of the city. Then bus route analysis. So PML Pune Mahanagar Parivahan Mahamandal Limited. This is the public bus operator in Pune, which have network all over the PCMC and Pimpri-Chinchwad and Pune, which covers total 80% of the catchment that I have decided for the metro, with the frequency of 7 minutes. But the users which are coming from bus, they are not willing to shift to metro because they are not coming to metro because already buses are going with the high crowd, means feeder system for Pune Metro. They have total 16 routes. When we see the frequency is very low for metro feeder. The average frequency becomes about 50 minutes to 50 to 60 minutes, which is very low for a feeder network, and it doesn't coordinate with the metro schedule. Where I have identified these two stations on purple line, which is PCMC and Bhosri station. PCMC is a terminal station, that's why it has very more number of parking there. This parking is on street parking, or they enclose the footpath. Long-term parking is required. Formal long-term parking is required. Same for the Aqua line. There are 3 stations: Vanas, Ramwadi, and Null Stop. Vanas and Ramwadi are the terminal stations, and Null Stop is where it connects the majority of residential area to the Aqua line. So this also shows maximum parking accumulation is on Ramwadi station, and the average duration of parking is 7 to 8 hours, which also shows the long-term parking is required. Then I have identified a road choice more, like 5% of increase in Dotpet and Matai, which is also low-performing stations, and on Aqua line, Sambhaji Garden is low-performing station, so it is also get connected with the new feeder road, high-density zone. There it will increase, but it is in a loop, so people and the both
Access time increases in one case and decreases in one.
Yes.
So now by increasing the access time as per your model, the ridership is negatively impacted.
Most important, probably the topic now.
Yes, I was
How do we enhance the ridership of metros?
Hmm.
They are investing so much money as I
Yes.
mentioned. Now, there are 5 recommendations you have given under 2 of these strategies. Now, can you please explain as to what is the, if I improve the parking, what is the enhanced ridership I would have?
Sir,
If I do the last mile connectivity, first and last mile, what is the further addition?
okay.
Now there is nothing related to densifying the corridors.
ये क्या ऑडियो नहीं है